you. Oh, now I gotta get up and hit the got it. I'm moving slow. It's the change of the weather. I'm feeling it. It's fall, right, everyone? And you can hear me okay, Lisa? Thumbs up. Yeah. Okay, great. Okay. While I am close, let's just review that we're doing Pusha and Mudra. It's for digestion. And the right hand is the pointer and the middle finger. And the left hand is the ring and the pinky. And, you know, I even notice when I hold this sometimes for too long that I get a little bit crampy in the hands. So make sure that you keep your hands soft. And at any time, you can release it whenever you need to, okay? Pushan. The right hand represents the upper digestion, and the left hand represents the lower digestion. Let's all find our most comfortable seat, however that looks for you this morning. Picking up your Pusha and Mudra, cultivating optimal digestion. And really, you know, it's important to talk about today with the shift of the weather, especially here in our area, that it's feeling cooler. We're moving to warmer foods and things to really sort of massage and warm up the belly. So dropping your shoulders, maybe taking a couple deep breaths, and then go ahead and close your eyes and just go right to your breath, right to your breath. And as you hold Pusha and Mudra, take several breaths to really attune to the feelings and maybe any sensations that this hand gesture or mudra is bringing up for you. Just noticing for a few moments. Noticing your breath and how it gently is directed down into your solar plexus, which is your belly. And it really puts a sense of warmth and nourishment to your whole body to hold this gesture, especially the digestive system. And with each inhalation, your solar plexus or your belly will expand outward naturally. So we want to puff it out. And then with each exhale, the navel center draws back and up, but the belly also softens a little bit. So it's a little bit of a tricky movement. Inhaling the breath all the way down to the belly, it puffs out, and then exhaling into softness there. So we'll continue breathing and just sense how this rhythmic movement with expanding our bellies really relaxes and almost even massages the belly. And this is the sort of practice we want moving through fall and into winter. I won't even say the W word. Any sort of practice that will really support our digestive system. And as you continue with the breath, try to visualize the power of digestion. It's almost like this fire or this light that radiates from your center all the way out to the tips of your fingers. After you finish this next breath, let's go ahead and release our hands, but keep our eyes closed and soften your hands. Rest your hands, maybe palms down. Keep the shoulders soft and relaxed, spine nice and long, and travel now to your heart center. And let's pause at the heart center and bring up an intention for the practice. It could be related to what we were just speaking of. Could be something that you're currently working on, or maybe you have the same intention every week. Let's go ahead and state that silently now to ourselves. And then we'll quietly let that go, Let's go back to this breath of bringing the breath all the way down to the belly. Again, puffing the belly out. And then letting the exhale come out of the body as the belly softens. We'll continue this breath practice the whole way through our practice. And, you know, it's a diaphragm breath, belly breath, which could have the sound of an ujjayi exhale. If you do like to sort of have that sound with the exhale, you could combine both. We'll quietly blink our eyes open when we're ready. Notice the room you're in and any people or objects that are around you, just sort of reconnecting here. You could switch the cross of your feet if you're not comfortable, so you could switch. Make sure that you're comfortable seated here. Nice long spine. Let's take our fingertips down on the earth and take that first big inhale as we reach up and stretch up. And then exhale, drawing the exhale out long as the arms come all the way down. So again, connecting with your breath in a way that you really give your body permission to have that belly puff out and then have it soften or have the navel center move back as you let the exhale out. Coming on up here, let's clasp the hands at the top, clasp the hands and then flip the palms, getting into the fingers, the wrists, the hands, the whole arm. Reach up and stretch up. And then when you exhale, draw it in front of you. Feel the back body open. You can even pause here at the shoulders, sort of press out, feel the back open. And then finish your exhale, come all the way down. And then when you come down, release your hands and sort of move and wiggle your fingers. We sometimes call this grab and release, get a little flow in the hands. And then do the opposite. Clasp your hands first down here, then flip the clasp and then come up. Feeling into that again. So you can drop your chin a little bit if you want to. Make sure you're not hyperextending the shoulders, so you can even be a little bit in front. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, we'll draw it out again. We'll stop at the shoulder height. Sort of press the palms forward, open the back body, and then go ahead and bring the hands all the way down. And we'll go ahead and move the hands and fingers again. Let's do into laterals or go into laterals. So inhale, reaching the arms up and stretch up. Let's take an exhale and drop over to the right side, reaching over here, go as low as you want to. Finish your exhale, then come back up to center. Take your time and then drop to the other side. Sort of tipping, flowing with your breath. We all are going at a different pace, but you know that the exhale is the drop down and the inhale is that reach up to get a nice long spine. Now what we'll do is next time we come back over to the other side, it doesn't matter what side you're on. Let's inhale and all meet up here in the center and then exhale, drop down and stay here. So reach that top arm over, keep breathing. Take that hip, that opposite hip that's in line with the top arm and pull it down to the earth. Feel that stretch. We're going to do a lot of opening, slow stretch opening today. Inhale, reach back up to center and then exhale, drop down to the other side. Today will be an interesting physical practice for you because we will not go to standing. Everything will be on the mat. Inhale, reach all the way up and stretch up like you're reaching for something. Exhale, go ahead and take the arms down. Pause here. So I'm going to cue you to come onto your backs, but before you do that, for a few sequences, we're going to make sure we have our strap or whatever we're going to use to be able to grab our foot, okay? So I'm going to have you come down onto your backs. I'm on a blanket. You could do the same. You could come flat on your mat. It's really personal preference, whatever feels good for you. But coming down onto your backs, let's right away keep our knees bent and our feet flat. Let the shoulders drop. So let the shoulders drop. And this is a nice place to feel that belly breath, that inhale. You can feel and even see the belly puff out. We're not concerned with how it looks. We want the big belly. And then we exhale, let the belly soften. And if you really notice the subtleties of it, you can feel your spine. This is why we talk about the spine being connected and directly related to the breath. On the inhale, notice how your spine picks up into a little bit of a back bend. And how on the exhale, the spine softens down. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and pause there for a moment. Okay, let's hug our knees into our body, Apanasana. But today we're going to change up Apanasana. Rather than having the hands on top of the knees, can you take your hands and wrap them under the knees? So right at that crease, you can keep the hands there underneath. If you can reach and it feels okay, you can even clasp your hands underneath your, underneath your knee joint there. And, open the knees a little bit. And then once you have this, it's a nice hip opener right away. You can sort of start to roll back and forth, really gentle here, from side to side, massaging the lower back. This is a really good one anytime we put any kind of compression on the belly, on those digestive organs. We're massaging that area. So really slow movement here, breathing here. Okay, let's come back to center. Stop rocking for a moment. Go ahead and release your hands. Bring them down on the earth with the palms down. And just go ahead to straighten the legs up towards the sky. This is like sort of checking in to see how the legs feel today. Take the feet and take them in circles, maybe going clockwise first. You can feel those ankles snap, crackle, pop, and then go the other direction. So soft knees here, we're just starting to warm up. So soft knees, reversing the blood flow a little bit. Okay, pause with the movement. We're going to open the legs in a little V here to begin. Relax your shoulders, your jaw. Inhale, opening the legs here a little bit. Exhale, bringing them together. Inhale, opening, really soft, not too wide. Exhale, bring them together. And then inhale, open one more time. Exhale, bring them together. Okay, just a little bit of prep. Let's hug the knees into the body again, Apanasana. This time, keep your right leg close to you. Extend your left leg long and let it rest down on the earth. Let's hug this right knee in. Really breathe into that right hip. We will do big hip openers today. So I really want you to move slow. I really want you to stay with your breath. I'm going to reach for this strap now, or whatever you have, even like an exercise band will work. And we're going to put it under the sole of the right foot. Here's the thing with the opposite leg. It could stay straight on the earth, or if it feels better for you, you could bend the knee and put the foot flat, if that feels like more stability for you. Okay, you decide. So the opposite leg is either straight or bent. We're going to take this opposite arm, which is your left arm, and take it out to the side with the palm down. Let's start to open and close the right leg. Relax the right shoulder. Inhale, opening up. Use the strap to assist you. Exhale, bring it back to center. Keep going. You are going as far as your body feels okay going. So if you can go fairly far here, breathe into it and go all the way. See how the body feels. And the reason that we do this dynamic sort of variation of it is we prep, we give the body time to open up here. Okay, we have the option now to hold it open. So you could hold the leg open. That strap will help you. So you could hold on to it here. Maybe you have it all the way down on the earth. Breathing here. If holding it open does not feel good to you, keep doing the dynamic movement. You're still going to get a nice opening. Breathing here. Still doing our belly breath, sending the breath right to that right hip. Really getting out some of that stuff worked out in the hips today. Take your time and you're going to bring your leg back to center. You're going to switch hands with the strap because you're going to cross this leg now over the midline. So the leg goes all the way over. Maybe not that far, right? Maybe not that far, maybe just a little bit over midline. Now I have my right arm out, my right palm down, and I'm even going to turn my head to look to the right. Sort of assist the hips. So the hips roll here, but the shoulders do not. The shoulders try to stay a little more down to the earth. Breathing into that outside of the hip joint. That's a big opening. Let's slowly, with control, bring the leg back up. Pause here for a moment, and then go ahead and bend the knee, release the strap, watch your face always, and then hug both knees into your body. And wow, you can feel the difference of each side of your body. This is the slow opening that's happening this morning. Okay, pause here for a moment. Let's go back to the beginning. Hug the left knee close to you. Extend the right leg long. And just sort of do this stretching first, just using your own body parts, your hands, to hug this left knee in. Okay, and remember, grab your strap. You're going to hook it under the left foot, but remember, you have a choice with the other leg. Now you have a choice with your right leg. You can have the leg be straight or you can have the knee be bent. If that leg is straight, it's a little more of a traction action happening. Okay, I'm holding the strap in my left hand. I'm relaxing my shoulders, my face, my jaw, and I'm going to begin to pulse open here now towards the left. So even though I have this strap, I don't have like a death grip on it, right? I'm just trying to be soft about it, assisting myself to open my hips today. And again, if this feels good to you and there's no pain in opening to your furthest point, then breathe through it and really open. The breath, just as we deepen our twists in breath, we deepen our opening here when we do something like this sort of sequence. Suptapad 1, it's called. Okay, we're going to now give ourselves permission to hold that movement or not. So see if it feels okay for you to open up the left leg, have it open to the side. You have that strap there to assist you. And if you know the holds don't feel great for this for you, then you keep doing the dynamic movement, okay? Breathing into the whole body. And as you're getting a nice opening, feeling really grounded on the earth today for our little bit of a lower practice. Lower meaning that we'll stay low in our poses. All right, give yourself one more nice deep breath here. You're going to come back up to center. And then let's switch hands. It's when we cross it over the midline. And we don't go very far here, right? The hips roll, the shoulders stay towards the earth. Breathe here. Your head could go the opposite direction. Notice how your neck feels. All right, we're getting there. Bring the leg back to center, nice and slow. Release that strap and go ahead and hug both knees into the body. Don't put the strap too far. Keep it next to you, hugging both knees into the body here. Now let's revisit that movement we just did at the beginning. Both legs go up to the sky. There's an option for you if you want to take your strap. You can now put the strap under both feet as your legs come up to the sky here. Relax your shoulders, put your triceps down the earth and your elbows, and then use the strap to go ahead and open up the legs. This is kind of a cool feeling, a cool movement. Breathing here. So maybe you can go a little bit further now since we did just work on opening both hips. Feel your lower back or your sacrum rooted into the earth. So feel that you have that grounding, you have that support. And use the strap to your advantage, right? So you have it, you can maybe hold the legs open a little further. Relax your jaw. The face always seems to kind of take all the poses. So soften the face. All right, we want to come out of it nice and slow to protect those inner thighs there. So we'll go ahead and slide the feet up. Kind of feels good with the strap there. Release the strap, watch your face, and then go ahead and place both feet down on the earth. Move your strap to the side for a moment and notice how you feel. Breathe right into those hips, right into those hips. Okay, I have one more thing for you before we sit up. We're going to go right into our first back bend. So I'm going to cue you to go ahead and walk your feet a little bit closer to your seat. Let's have the arms down to the sides, palms down. Linking breath with movement, we'll go to dynamic bridge. Inhale, lifting those hips up here, feeling that chest open. Exhale, lower the hips down, releasing that lower back, which feels nice. Inhale, coming up for the bridge shape. Exhale, coming down. Okay, let's inhale up for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Try that again. Inhale up for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. Pause for a moment. We'll go up for the hold. And when we go to exhale, we will keep the hips up for the hold. Inhaling up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Stay here. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now slowly release it down for a 5 count if you can. I know we've held it for a while. And then release everything. Soften your whole body. Rest here for a moment. You can even put your hands on your belly. And just pause, remaining on your backs for a moment, almost like a little mini Shavasana after we've done all that work. Okay, we're going to get a different perspective here. So hug the knees into the body, please, and quietly either roll to your side or you can roll all the way up to seated. But when you do come up, just pause for a moment because we were on our backs for quite a while. So come on up for a moment. It's almost like that same feeling of being in Shavasana, right? So you need to sort of pause for a moment, see how you feel. Take a couple deep breaths. Feel how good the hips and the legs feel, the lower half of the body. And we're going to slowly move to tabletop. So again, different perspective. We'll now be weight bearing. So make sure that you're careful with your hands and your wrists. Again, I'm on a blanket. You don't have to be. I like the softness under my knees. So coming here to tabletop, we haven't been here yet. So in tabletop, see what it feels like here to practice that breath, but we're not going to move the spine yet. Inhaling, letting the breath come all the way down to the belly and puffing it out. Exhale, drawing the navel center back and up and softening. Try that again. Inhale here in stillness. And naturally the spine moves anyway, right? With the belly. Exhale, softening and pulling the navel center up. Now let's add movement with the spine. Inhaling, curving the spine for the back bend, looking forward. Exhale, round the spine, pull that navel center up. Inhaling into the back bend, cat cows. Exhale into that cat shape. And doing any other kind of movement that would feel good to you. Maybe it's moving the hips back and forth a little bit, sort of this organic movement that you could do. We were on our backs for a while, so really kind of releasing that spine. Okay. Let your last exhale out here, and then we'll pause in the center. We are going to use the strength of our arms and our upper body to come all the way down to our belly. So make sure you feel good here. Lower all the way down slowly. And land very soft here on the earth, okay? All the way onto your bellies. When you come down into your bellies, we're going to go right into what we call crocodile. So we stack the hands and we bring those elbows out in front of the shoulders so the chest is actually lifted up a little bit. You can rest your forehead down and your chest can still be up here. Let's breathe into the back body, into that back heart, your shoulder blades here now. Feel your shoulder blades open. Really coming down here, preparing ourselves for our next sequence of back bending. Okay, bringing those hands under our shoulders, bringing the elbows in, going into a cobra sequence. Inhaling, pulsing the chest up and leaving the navel center down to come up. Exhale, bring the body down. Keep going. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let's try that one more time. Breathe into the whole spine. Inhale up. And then exhale down. Nice, nice and slow. Another great belly massage. Release your hands, stack your hands, and let the elbows come out. Okay, you can rest your forehead down. Here are your choices. For the hold, you could go up into Sphinx, or you could place your hands at those upper corners of your mat here, and you could press up into a little bit of a higher back bend. Okay, so we have choices. Sphinx is when the elbows and forearms are down. We're still in a nice back bend shape. And then the deeper one is up higher off the elbows. You choose. Let's go into our hold now, always entering with the inhale here for the back bend. Try not to throw your head back. Rather, bring the chin down just a little bit and gaze at the front of your mat, even if you're in Sphinx. Breathing all the way down the spine. That's your inhale. Exhaling up the front body. Inhaling down the spine one more time. Exhaling up the front body. And then bringing your body slowly, slowly down here. Stacking the hands, elbows out, bend the knees and sway the feet back and forth. Let your lower back release. Feel the massage on the belly again, on the hip points, and notice how you feel. Okay, let's counter those back bends. Bring yourself with the strength of your arms all the way up to tabletop, pausing here for a moment. I'm going to give you a choice here today. You could go right into cat-cow again, or go right to child's pose, right? Bringing the hips back. So whatever feels better on your body, whether it's just doing a couple cat-cows or going to child's pose. We all have these different bodies. We all have these different needs. So I like to give choices. You could even do dynamic back bend into child's pose. Doing a few of those to what we call a counter pose. And then we will all meet seated on our mats. Okay. When you come to seated, locate your block, please. And we're going to go right into Badakhanasana since we've really prepped ourselves for it. I'm going to take the block today. I hope you can see me. And I'm going to put it in between the feet. It's kind of nice to have that contact. Oh, my feet feel cold. So having the feet on the block, and then you can adjust. You can pull a little bit closer, bring your seat a little closer, let the knees drop out. Have a nice tall spine here. Breathing here for a moment, breathing here. And what's really nice is if you have that block there, we're going to bring it forward in a second. You can put it a little bit higher or lower. You can then, when you come forward, use it as a prop. Let's inhale and reach our arms up and stretch up first. Let's do a couple dynamic. Exhale, tip forward just to see what that feels like, just to see how the hips are doing. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, tipping forward, really reach here. Big opening. Inhale, reach up. We're going to come down for the hold. So adjust the prop as you need. Come all the way down. You could even stack your fists here to make it a little higher. I'm going to make mine a little higher. I'm actually going to make my diamond a little bit bigger so I can come down. Coming down here into the forward fold. So we're really going to hang out here for a few breaths. So make sure you're comfortable. You could put another block there. You could even go on your elbows and hold yourself up sort of in this, we also call this crocodile shape, onto your elbows here. So see how you feel. Breathing here. And think about your knees and your hips. Let those knees drop out. Let those hips open a little bit more. Breathing here, breathing here. All right, let's take one last breath here together. Inhaling all together. Exhaling, let the breath come out. I want you to go ahead and inhale and reach your arms and come all the way up towards the sky. Reach up and stretch up. And then exhale the arms down. Nice. Help your knees up for a moment here. Move that block just to the side for a second, and you can go ahead and sway your knees back and forth here. Okay, taking the focus from the outside of the leg to the inside, we'll go right into this pose called Badakhanasana, where the legs open up here. So I do like to keep my knees a little bit soft here, right? It's not necessary to pin the knees down. So you could have the knees be a little bit soft. And we're working on how wide we want to open, right? We sort of take baby steps here, rolling on the sitting bones. The legs are active, the toes are up to the sky. You have a nice tall posture here. So just staying centered for a few moments, taking a few breaths here, breathing here, breathing here. All right, we're going to do a few different things here. So I want to make sure you're comfortable. So if you feel like you've opened too wide, back off a little bit. Locate that block, take it on the right side, going over towards the right foot. Inhaling both arms up towards the center. Exhale, dropping down. Maybe you don't need the block. So maybe you slide it and you go to the earth, right? So I want you to see how you feel. Block is there if you need it. Reaching that top arm over. Let's move the arm. Inhale, reaching it up. Exhale, reaching it over. Can you get that foot? Inhale, reaching it up. Exhale, reaching it over. Inhale, reaching it up. Open the chest here. Exhale, reach it over and stay here. So adjust that shoulder joint for your body. Maybe it's not benefiting you to have it really wrapped back. So maybe you have to tip that shoulder joint a little more forward for yourself. Breathing here, get into that whole body breath. Still letting that belly puff out. We're going to take an inhale and come all the way up, nice and slow. Release both arms up towards the sky. Nice and slow, exhale the arms down. Okay. Go ahead and take the block. Move it over to the other side, but maybe you know that you don't need it. Inhaling both arms up in the center first. Set yourself in the center. Go down with the long spine, especially since we're not doing it dynamically first with the body. Coming down here, reach that top arm over. Now we'll inhale, bring the arm straight up to the sky, almost like we do in triangle. Exhale, reach it over, get that nice lateral opening. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, reach it over. Inhale, reach it up and stretch up. And now this is our hold. So go into that shoulder joint. Notice how it feels. Is it okay for you to wrap it back a little bit and maybe peek up to the sky? If not, keep it a little forward. Keep your gaze down. You're still getting a nice lateral opening here on the side body. Find your breath. Let the breath quiet the mind, especially if you have a little bit of a sound in your exhale. Let that be your focus. And we will inhale and come all the way up, up, up. Ooh, exhale the arms down. Okay, pause here for a moment. I have one more movement for you. Just going to move the block to the side. So again, if you feel that you've gone too far, you can ease off a little bit. Seated twist in Upavista. So we're going to go ahead and inhale, reach the arms up in the center, but we're going to twist it down towards the right. So this feels different because the legs are open. So take your time. I'm taking my left hand, either putting it in front here, or maybe I feel okay to hold the knee. It will, if you do it too far and push it too much, it'll throw it in your left back here. So maybe ease off with the legs a little bit. And if it feels okay and this twist feels really good for you, you could take that gaze and look over your back shoulder. It's different when we twist here when we have the legs open so wide. So I want you to make sure you adjust it properly. Maybe you don't go as far. Twisting for our digestion, optimal digestion. Let's go ahead and come back to center. Pause, let everything come back and reset. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. So this side for me feels different. So you might notice the same. Notice that the sides are different. Use your breath. Enter with your breath. And again, that final piece of it could be that you would look over the back shoulder. Over the back shoulder. Breathe here, nice and slow, nice and long. Still sending that breath all the way down to your belly. twisting feels a little more difficult to puff the belly out. So notice that. How do we adjust that? Okay, we're going to unwind out of it. We're going to reach the arms up and stretch up. And then we're going to go ahead and bring these arms down. Let's let these legs come in. They have been open a while, and sort of massage into the legs here a little bit. You can move your feet, point and flex. Since we just did an asymmetrical twist, let's do an even pose, seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Let's do a couple dynamic. Keep this block close. You might want it. Inhale, reaching the arms up, stretch up. Exhale, folding forward, hinging at those hips. Inhale, coming up one more time. Okay, let's say we're going to stay now. So come on down and decide how you want to set it up. Maybe you want to grab that block and rest the forehead. Maybe a pillow or a cushion would be nice for you. Coming down into this really quiet but beneficial pose for us as it opens our hamstrings, Breathing here into that whole back body. The quiet of a forward fold. Sometimes it's all you need. All right. Preparing yourself to come out of it, reaching the arms on the inhale right by your ears, coming all the way up. And when you're here, stretch up. Get one more stretch out of it. Exhale the arms down. Pause here. Okay, so at this point in the practice, we're actually going to come back to our backs for more sequencing. So I'm going to make sure, though, that I'm going to keep this block nearby. You're going to see why in a second. Coming all the way back to your backs here to actually end our practice today, going right into sequencing on our backs again. So again, a little bit of different of a practice today, a little bit quieter, a little bit more towards the ground. Knees are bent, feet are flat. Let the shoulders drop, let the arms come out to the sides, and revisit this feeling of resting here for a moment, please. Resting here, breathing here. All right, I think we did this last week. If you don't remember or you weren't here, you can certainly watch the first time or just listen for the cueing. Movement with our arms and our legs. Let's listen carefully. Inhale, the arms reach back, all the way back behind you. The hips stay down though. Exhale, pull the knees into your center. Inhaling, straightening the legs up towards the sky. Exhaling, everything comes down, arms and legs. Use your abdominal strength. Let's try that again. Inhale, just the arms come back. Exhale, pull the knees into center. Inhale, the legs go to straight. Exhale, everything comes down. Draw it out. Inhale, arms back. Exhale, pull those knees in. Inhale, legs go to straight. You can flex your feet. Exhale, arms and legs come down. Last one. Inhale, arms back. Exhale, pull those knees into center. Inhale, straighten those legs as much as you want to. Exhale, draw this exhale out longer as you release everything down. Slow it, slow it, slow it down. And then release, soften everything. Let the body go. Rest here for a moment. Breathing here, breathing here. Okay. This is the last sequence I have for you before our guided Shavasana today. I want you to locate your block, please. And you're going to sneak that block underneath your lower back. So we've already been here today without a block. So now put the block there, please. Make sure it's in that sweet spot for you. If you need to walk your feet a little bit closer, you can do that. We're going to open up the arms here almost to shoulder height. And I do have my palms down. Leg lifts for each leg at a time. We'll start with the right leg. So make sure that left foot is planted. Inhale, lifting the right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bringing it down. Let's stay in the same leg. Inhale, reaching the right leg up. exhale down. Now this time, let's reach it up and let's keep that right leg up. You can flex the foot. If you're on a block and you want to sort of press that left foot into the earth and pick the hips up, you could do that if you feel that you're okay, have it, and you have the strength for that. Be mindful about it. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, if your hips are up, bring them down on the block, release the leg down. Pause here, release your abdominal area, soften your hips. All right, shift to your left leg, just the left leg will go up. Inhale, reach that left leg up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Okay, it's going to stay up. And you have the opportunity now that that left leg is up to press the right foot into the earth and lift those hips up a little bit if you want to off the block. You don't have to. I'm just suggesting if you want to try that, a little bit more fire. Breathing here. On the exhale, lowering that left leg down. The hips will come back down, obviously, in the block. Readjust your block if you need to. Make sure it's secure, because I'm going to ask you to take each leg up at a time where both legs end up towards the sky. Supported shoulder stand. Supported shoulder stand. Here we are. Viparita Karani, we can also call it. It is this active reversal where we on purpose take the legs up above the head, above the heart, reversing the flow of things here, breathing into the whole body. Going back to that belly breath, even here, really pulling the breath all the way down to the navel center, the solar plexus, puffing it out, and then softening as the breath comes out. Okay, I do want to give you the option here. Some of us do love to do this where we open our legs up wide. This time we don't have a strap. So if you want to open the legs up wide, you could go into that. Be mindful that you're up a little higher on the block. Maybe you just want to pulse at it a little bit, but one sort of final go at getting a nice ending symmetrical hip opener. We've done all this work today, and although it's been low and pretty grounding, it's still a lot of work on the body here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and carefully, slowly bring the legs back together if they're open in a V shape. I always like to cue that one leg should come down first, make contact with the earth, there it is, and then the other. Get your feet situated and then lift your hips up and slide that block out. So that block is a little bit of pressure on the lower back. Lower your lower back here, soften it for a moment. Go back to hugging the knees into the body, please. And just as we did in the beginning, we can change up our Apanasana. You don't have to have the hands on the knees today. You could bring the hands underneath and clasp the hands underneath and feel how different this feels now. Maybe really hugging the knees in deep, rolling back and forth a little bit, massaging that lower back again. And I can certainly cue happy baby. If you don't practice it, that's fine. Maybe your happy baby today could be that you grab the insides of the soles of your feet. Wow, look how open these hips are. Breathe into those hips. So much can be released from a big hip opening practice. Okay, Apanasana, hug the knees into the body here. I would like to give you these next few moments to set yourself up for your Yoga Nidra or your guided Shavasana, we could also call it. You know, like I said, my feet feel really cold, so you might want to put some socks on and locate a blanket, maybe put a little cushion under your head. And I do want to say that we can have our legs and our knees sort of elevated. I would sort of steer away from doing any sort of back bend at this point. I would maybe try to have my spine a little more flat on the earth. Okay. So using these next few moments to put on some extra layers of clothing. I know we need it here. It's like we have air on and it's like 50 out. So we'll end really with sticking with this whole theme of bringing the breath to the belly. It's a diaphragmatic breath, Shavasana or Yoga Nidra. It's one of my favorites. And the book is by Maya Tiwari. I can bring it closer in the end. Highly, highly recommend this book. We'll talk about that in the end. Okay, letting your body drop down into the earth, getting yourself all set up. I know. Okay. Lying flat on your back on your yoga mat, letting your body drop down into the earth. Go ahead and put one hand on your chest and the other hand on your belly, just below your rib cage, but still above your navel center. And once again, begin to inhale into your belly so that you can actually feel it rising, becoming full and round, while the diaphragm is actually moving downward. As you allow your lungs to fill with oxygen, feel the belly puff out. And as you exhale, feel the breath come back up, passing the chest, past your collarbones, and as the breath leaves your body. Try that a few more times, inhaling all the way down to the belly to feel the belly puff out, your fullest inhale. And then exhale, letting the breath pass back up past the chest and the collarbones, the throat area, as the exhale comes out. Your chest is quiet here and relatively still, but your belly is doing a lot of movement. Let's continue this practice on our own for 3 breaths. 3 breaths. And now as this breathing begins to feel more natural to you, you can move your arms and position your arms by your sides with your palms facing up. Stretch out your legs in front of you, hip width apart and parallel to each other. And if you haven't already, close the eyes and begin to visualize your breath as a stream of cool, tranquil, golden light that flows from your heart and radiates to the furthest reaches of your body. Allow this golden breath to flood your entire being. Feel it in the tips of your fingers, your toes, in the crown of your head, in each of your vertebrae, behind your eyelids, and in your throat. Rest your mind in the serenity of the breath. Let yourself fully and completely relax in this posture for the next few moments. I will be here and I will quietly bring you out. As you slowly start to bring your body back, continue to deepen your breath, bringing it all the way down to your belly. Staying just as you are here on the earth for a moment, as I share something I wanted to share with you today. The sages developed a science of breath called Pranayama, which literally means manifestation of ultimate cosmic energy. Pranayama encompasses a variety of practices, all of them designed to reestablish the flow of breath in harmony with the rhythms of the universe. The Upanishads tell us, he who has control over his breath also has control over his mind. When the student comes in touch with the finer forces called prana, he can learn to control his mind, for it is tightly fastened to the prana like a kite to a string. And when the string is held skillfully, the kite, which wants to fly here and there, is controlled and flies in the direction desired. Begin to wiggle your toes and move your fingers. Continuing to breathe as you maybe reach your arms back behind your head to give your body one final stretch this morning in our practice, maybe pointing and flexing your feet, hugging those knees into the body and quietly rolling to your side. And then trying to keep really, still quiet about it. Maybe the eyes are even closed as you come to seated on your mat, so we can end practice together today as a class, as a community. Sitting on the earth here, just resting the hands on the knees for a moment, softening the shoulders, feeling into your long spine. Take a deep breath in, let the belly puff out once again, and exhale the breath out. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sharon. We had a slow practice, so make sure you move slow coming out of it, especially since our meditation in the end was a little longer. I did mention a book, and I did the Shavasana, and I also read from it in the end. It's called The Path of Practice. The Path of Practice. Maya Tawari is the author's name, and this is one of the books as a teacher I've read and reread several times. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Katie. Wonderful.
Thank you,
class.
everyone. Have a great day.
It was perfect. Thank you.
Good.
See you next week.
Yes.
Bye.
I'm like limping. Yeah, I have a brace. On. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Katie, for
Thank
another
you.
wonderful class.